Hey guys, welcome back to 1000 Card Project and our weekly report. This is going over the week of September 21st through the 27th. For those that are new, we started with $500 and about 300 cards. We worked up to 1,000 cards, which was the goal, that are all worth at least $1. And then we've been flipping that up to where those cards are going to be 1,000 cards worth $100. And so, um, unfortunately, some of the earlier videos I lost when I was making some changes to a YouTube channel. And so I had to start this new YouTube channel. And so I am going to recover some of those videos. Should be able to go back, but we've been documenting this process from the very beginning and continue to do so. So appreciate you guys. It's all based off the 1000 Card this is all based off the 1000 True Fans article by Kevin Kelly. It's kind of a popular article in the entrepreneur space. And I just thought I'd adapt it and take it towards cards here. This week, we sold 39 total cards, 17% on CommC, 66% on eBay, 10% on CollX, and then a new marketplace that we'll talk a little bit about, the blockchain, Panini blockchain. When we get there, we'll talk about that. But if you're not following me, we are on eBay. Link is in the description. And if you have not started selling on CollX, reach out to me there. Sign up, reach out to me. I'd love to be the person that buys from you first there. Bulk card sales, we had 0 this week. So this is the second week in a row that we had 0 sales on our bulk cards. For those, again, that are new, bulk cards were kind of an existing collection that I had, along with, I took about 3 months to try a bunch of different things. And so knowing that I was making some bad buys, not knowing that I was making some bad buys, but that ended up being, I think, about $1,400 and what I'm calling debt, and so I've been gradually selling off those cards just as they sell. We have now sold $1,035 of that 1,400. I have about 383 left. We're going to make a decision here pretty soon. If we continue to have weeks where we don't sell those cards, then I might try to do something where maybe I bulk those up into something that I can unload on Facebook Marketplace or something like that to try to eliminate this 383 left. Or do I just continue to let it ride out for the year and then make that decision? So it's kind of playing around with it, but the goal was to let that kind of sell off throughout the year and see what kind of progress we've made. And now, honestly, I'm just getting impatient with it and want to knock it out so we can put everything towards the project. For the sales this week, so we then had 39 total cards sold for the project for $172.69. The project level, I believe, is let me look that up. 356. So we had a project level of 139, I believe, and it's just not wanting to come up there, which means every card gets a level. And so if it's a $5 card, we give it a level of 6, meaning that after we sell it, all our fees, everything, when we come away, we should have at least $6 or $1 profit on that card moving forward. And so we should have hit 139. We hit 172.69. So we are selling a little bit beyond what our projection is there, which is good. Again, some sales on CommC, eBay. We had a trade there. Again, I've talked about that strategy in the past. I went to a card show, had a low grade, kind of just base mosaic JJ McCarthy that I had bought for $11. And I was able to trade that out for dollar box cards. They're happy because they get a slab and it's a hot player. They can throw it in their showcase, all those kinds of things. And a lot of those dealers don't care about the dollar cards, but I'll sell those all day, every day. And a lot of times I can double my monies. I was able to get, I believe in that trade, $13 cards that I think I can at least make $1 profit on. If I liquidate that and it works as planned, I should come away with $26 instead of taking a loss on a card like that. So I like that strategy, something I continue to use. But the one that's new, that is the first sale I had, was the blockchain. As some of you know, if you haven't watched the episode that I did with Jason Howe from Card Block NFT, I've been buying some NFTs on the Panini blockchain. And I don't remember listing this one for sale, to be honest with you, but I listed a Joe Milton Blue Wave NFT at 147. I think I bought it for $1. I actually definitely bought it for $1, and I sold it for $3. And I think it was only like a 5% transaction fee, which was good. So again, didn't get rich off that one NFT. made a, $1.85 profit off of a dollar investment. I feel really good about that. So continue to try that. I do want to continue to explore how to make things more digital. I am consolidating my inventory and trying to make that to where I stay to just these two drawers in this cabinet that I have. But ultimately, it is nice when I do sell on ComC or the blockchain that it's all digital. I don't have to mail anything, don't have to do anything. And I kind of look at that like day trading a little bit. And so want to explore that more and continue to have that be a strategy that I use. Purchases this week. This is where I did take a big jump. I had, I believe, 5 total purchases for a project level average of 73.20, and I spent $363.86. And so, as I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, I do want to start to buy some of the grades, some of the all-time great players, and have some stable cards in my collection that I feel like I can always liquidate if I need to, but they're sitting at that $100 mark. And my goal now is to have the low end feed the high end and basically attack this from both sides. Make sure that I'm, each week I'm taking some of those profits and buying these high end cards that hit that $100 mark. And so therefore essentially make it to where I only need 995 of these cards. But this week, I bought 2 of those cards, and maybe a couple if you count these, but I bought a Dan Marino Hall of Fame quarterback rookie, 1984 Topps, BGS 8.5, and a John Elway rookie, BGS 8.5 as well. So both of those cards are sitting, a little bit above the $100 mark. I was able to get a good price on those and, have those start to be staples in my collection. And so my plan is to start with a lot of the NFL Hall of Famers. Football is a sport that I coached. It's a sport that I played. It's where I have the most knowledge. And so I feel like I'm going to start there. But if I see some great players in baseball or basketball, Jordans, guys like that, I'll pick those up as well. The other 3 pickups, James Wood, True Blue, the 150 rookie. I like James Wood. I think he's on a bad team. I think he's, just not in a great market. But, at the end of the season here, out of the playoffs, I think that's a great card to pick up. I bought a Troy Aikman PSA 9 rookie. The thought process there was that it's just so grossly underpriced compared to the PSA 10 that I thought that was a good card to go ahead. Again, an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, popular team with the Cowboys. And it's slabbed up. That can't hurt. It's not quite the $100 mark, but it's, I think it's a great card to put in the collection. And then I bought a raw Lawrence Taylor, 1982 rookie that I'm actually sending off to get graded. I don't think it's going to come back a high score, but again, add value by getting it graded, something I could throw in the collection, and then always level up as I find other versions and have that be a strategy as well, where I buy the lower graded copies, trade into, or, use that card as essentially a down payment and then down payment plus cash for some of these higher graded copies. Just thought we'll see where that goes, but that's kind of the plan. Overall, again, the budget is very healthy. We're sitting at a little over $1,600. Going to be able to continue to increase inventory as I get the opportunities and find some of those higher level cards and be able to jump on those. Lastly here, the collection level is sitting at 6,681. So what started with $500 and 351 cards is now 8,000 cards, and feeling very confident that I can liquidate that for $6,681 if I needed to, and continuing to build the collection. Questions going on this week, continuing to research and figure out what those all-time great players that I can get at what grade for around that $100 mark, what makes the most sense there. Baseball, whose opportunities to buy for the playoffs, but also whose opportunities to buy for spring training. And then football, what do I want to do there? Strategy moving forward. Quarterback strategy did not work well for me this year. I don't know if that's just a one-off thing or not, but, want to figure out what to do there. I did send off for science, like Gaby always says. I sent off 25 cards to SGC. I don't believe in SGC long term. I think they're, with PSA, with all the things that are happening there within their company, I just don't think it's great. But I do think the turnaround time of 15 to 20 days, being able to add some value to some of these cards, and we'll see where that goes. So hopefully they're nice to me and we can get some good grades and we can move some of those cards, and we'll go from there. So as always, if you guys want to support the project, you can like, share, subscribe. That helps. Again, we have some great guests. We have Dale Calvert coming up this week on the podcast. I really enjoy his content, so make sure to check that out. And then, you can always either buy cards from us or sell us cards, so if there's cards that you're trying to unload that you feel like would fit the project, that are, going to be at the right margins and all those types of things, send them our way, and always looking to find some good deals. So appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this week, and I will talk to you next week.